Hello, and welcome to the Utterly Geek podcast, again with only myself, Chris Walczyk, and Steven Petrella. We are here.
Hello.
We are down a Mr. Darren Bell once again. He is busy taking care. Wait, no, sorry.
No,
He's still
he's
kicked
fired.
out of our. He's still fired.
We fucking
from the
hate
pod-
him.
Yes. All right. Yes. Yeah.
We're never talking to that asshole again.
Yeah, we fired his ass.
Yeah.
He's still fired, even though he's got a position in the video.
Yeah.
And we've been mentioning him. It's more of a courtesy at this point, really.
Yeah.
Next week will be the memorial of him, with him being fired, and then we go from there. But yes, welcome to the show. This is the gaming news segment of the Utterly Geek podcast, and there is not a lot going on in the last week, at least.
Nope.
We have speculated mostly because of the fact that E3 is months away, so a lot of companies are basically just keeping their cards close to their chest for the big E3 reveal. But I have a feeling, even though that they're holding off, that they're going to. I don't know. It's like in the last 3 or 4 years where there's been like a trend where they release trailers like a week before or some shit. So it's
Yeah.
like, oh cool, I have to watch the same fucking thing I already watched again. Like, this is not really new, and it's boring. So I kind of hope that they don't do it. I loved a lot of how a lot of companies just kind of keep secrets and then make big E3 announcements with big trailers, and then it's released the following day, so I could watch it again 5 million times.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
but in any case, let's move on to the news segment, which really there's only one piece of news that was announced this week, and unfortunately it is sad news. Really unfortunate news this week. I would say for a small niche crowd, but kind of made an impact in the gaming industry for YouTube and Twitch. TotalBiscuit, who is a well-known PC critic. He had his mod team basically structure together a very lengthy Reddit post that was basically titled "Official TotalBiscuit's Future" on his subreddit. I won't read the whole thing, but I'll read the TLDR. Basically, conventional treatments are ineffective. For those who don't know, he's been fighting a battle with cancer for the last 2 years, I think 2 years or so, where it was originally colon cancer and then spread to his liver, and then he's been fighting that. Anyway, conventional treatments ineffective. Liver damage, or too much liver damage for clinical trials that we know of. He's retiring as a critic to spend what's left with his time with gaming with his wife and with people like his friends of his via co-op videos and streams. The podcast will continue every week with a streamlined 2-hour format from his previous 3-hour format. We have no plans to launch any kind of donation campaign and suggest above a list of ways to support us if you'd like to. So basically, he is no longer doing any more of his, at least as far as WTF videos, his have a gander at videos, anything where he's kind of looking into certain video games. He's no longer doing. He has stopped doing that, so that way he can spend more time with his family. Because it seems like a lot of what is going on in his life with treatments is any more options. So he's just spending with whatever time he has left on this earth to be with his family, which is very, very sad news.
Yeah, it is.
I read that shit just before going to bed, and I really shouldn't have, because man, that was some really sad shit to read.
Yeah, it's very sad shit. I mean, for me, I love the guy. I loved all of his YouTube videos, and I think he did a shitload for the gaming community as far as YouTube, and as far as making it okay to be a game.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I love the guy, and I'm it's sad, and I hope he just spend as much time with your family, keeping the podcast going. That's awesome because the podcast is great as well.
Mhm.
So that's cool. At least he's keeping that going, so he can you know keep in touch with fans and stuff like that. So more power to him because that's got to be taxing as well. Just doing that podcast and sitting down for 2 hours when I'm sure he's in pain and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
hopefully, hopefully he has a solid like rest of his life here. I mean, it's going to be short, but hopefully it's amazing for him. So
Yeah. He's also been doing at least when he feels like it. He sometimes does sponsored content on Twitch as well, but only on Twitch. He doesn't put it on YouTube. He just keeps it on Twitch for subscribers to look on it on his VOD. But that's about the only time when I've actually seen him play something.
Yeah.
But I guess from reading, because I read his entire message, he does plan on gaming more, but it's more of gaming with his wife or friends. And that's like totally random. Like that's if he's like actually willing to do it, like willing to take the time to be like, okay, I can do something for a couple hours that is just like straight up gaming.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But yeah, I guess it really hit hard for me because like a lot of I guess like so when I first started following him was it sounds like from a lot of people that I've heard and watched videos and read comments, a lot of people started following him around right around the I suck at StarCraft franchise that he did.
Yeah.
And I was roughly around that time, maybe a little bit before he actually started a series called that, where he was just playing StarCraft, and it wasn't called I Suck at StarCraft. It was called something else, but it was just like I came across him. It was kind of when I was really into the competitive mode of StarCraft, and I heard him, like I heard his voice, and I was like, man, who is this guy? His fucking voice sounds awesome, and like he sounds so cool, and like he's very witty, and like just his response, and he's what got me into like learning his build for Terran, which is still what I use to this day. So it's kind of funny, and I also bought his voice pack on StarCraft 2 as soon as he said it was available, like years later. I was like, fuck yeah, I want TotalBiscuit to be yelling at me the whole time while I fuck up my supply depots or whatever. But all that aside, a lot of how he kind of strives for great quality, like whether if it's for audio or video. I mean, that's how really I was able to get the way that Utterly Geek was just because, like, especially in the video format, where I was just like, I want this to be fucking better because it should be better, because if people like fucking TotalBiscuit can do it on his own and do it so goddamn well and just get every little piece of it so right, like I fucking want to be able to do that too. So like it's a lot of inspiration from him of being able to just do it himself, and like he's not even like, he was studying school for law, so like he was able to get into video editing and audio work and like all these things on his own time. And I mean, he also worked on radio as well for a while. That's how he did his WoW series that he did. I forgot what it was called, but that was when he was in radio in college during that time. And that's what kind of got him into the audio format. And then it just like took off from there. So that's what kind of got me to be like, well, shit, man, I do it as a fucking, like, I graduated with that shit, with how to do video and audio editing and like all these things. Like, I should be able to fucking do it at the same goddamn quality, or expect the same level of quality. So, so that's why it was just like, when I read that news, when he was just like, it's only a matter of time and just gonna do what I can for my family, it was just like, oh my God. Like,
Yeah.
it's one of those things where it's like, when we initially heard that he had cancer and everything, it was like, oh fuck. Like, I mean, he was, unfortunately bombarded by a bunch of fucking trolls and assholes being like, "Oh, how much long do you live?" All this shit.
Yeah.
But like it's and I honestly did for a while think that he was going to be able to fight it off and he was going to win all those battles, but it just seems like there was just all the treatments did too much damage to his liver, and so it's either he fucking keeps it up and then kills his liver and then dies that way, or he's just gonna fight out for how long he can basically just tough it out.
Yeah, when I heard that he had colon cancer, I was like, oh man, that's horrendous, because a family member of mine had colon cancer and passed away just because it just spread so fast. Like, it's just one of those things where it's just like, if you don't catch it in time, it just spreads all over your entire body. So I was just like, fuck, man. Yeah, so it's just, it was one of those things where I was just like, damn. But, it's just, it sucks. But I think, what he brought to the gaming community and, like, just what he did, like you said, like, watching his YouTube videos and seeing him just bring himself up from his own into where he is now is just fucking amazing. And it's just it's inspiring, and just to have that guy around is like, it's awesome. And his videos will be there for us to use and watch forever, so
yeah, he'll be there. There was a YouTuber who I forget his name, but he posted it like a few days after that post, and he had never met him in person, but he'd made a good point. Like, he had made such a big impact between not just YouTube but Twitch, but also fucking Blizzard as well.
Yeah,
like, he was like, if Blizzard doesn't have a fucking statue of him or something, they're fucking it up, or they're doing something wrong. Because I mean, especially with the StarCraft 2 community, because not only was he able to like bring more people in just with him being an announcer, but like he also had his own esports team that he ran. I mean, granted, it eventually, his esports team fell apart, but it was still an accomplishment that he was able to run it himself and try, at least. So I feel like that's still a pretty big impact that he did just with StarCraft alone. Like, he's been a commentator. He made his own esports team. He's been to a number of events. He's always supported StarCraft 2. He's played other Blizzard stuff, but I always felt like that StarCraft was kind of like his home, in a sense. Something he was always coming back to, aside from just like gaming on PC in general. I hope. I mean, I know it's kind of like a weird request for Blizzard, but I hope that they fucking do something.
Oh yeah, they definitely should.
I mean, they already got his voice in StarCraft 2, but like, there's got to be something that they got to do for him. So I mean, it's not much more it could be said other than I hope that he enjoys his time, and I resubscribe to him on Twitch, so I'll get notifications for when he goes live, and I'm gonna be fucking hopefully right there whenever he goes live. Probably not so much for his podcast, but hopefully for like whatever games that he plays with his wife or friends. I definitely want to be there for it.
Definitely.
So moving on from that, that's the only piece of news that we have that's really sad. But we do have a bunch of interesting and exciting and pretty awesome new announcements. The first one up is that the Nintendo Switch Pro controller is now supported for Steam. So now you can connect a Pro controller from the Nintendo Switch onto your Steam Link and use it, much like the Xbox One controller or the PS4 controller. So now it supports it. You can do button layouts and change up what button prompts you want on there and everything. So now fully supported, which is pretty fantastic.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I wasn't 100% expecting that to happen, but it's pretty awesome that it is.
Yeah. It is announced. I don't know why I said it's available now. It's announced.
Yeah.
That's it. This is our new announcement section. God damn it. Yeah. Anyway, what is available right now, though, is the GOG announced that Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, that is the Nintendo 64 pod racing game, is now available on PC through GOG.com. It is still part of their Star Wars sale that's going on. I think that should be ending soon, probably this week at some point. I should really fucking pick that up because I played that for N64 for a little bit, and I was like, man, this game's awesome, and I was renting it, so I had to return it the next day, but I was like, man, this shit's awesome.
Yeah, I played the hell out of that game. I love that game. Yeah, I'd really love to get back, and I watched a couple videos of people playing it, and I was like, damn, I want to play that fucking game so bad.
From what I heard, though, a lot of issues on the PC version, like the official, like, because there was an official like PC version of it that was released, and that's why it was available. They just basically ported it over so that way it would work on modern systems. A lot of people were having issues with just the game itself, because even if you heavily modded the game, it still kind of ran like shit or would crash a lot. So hopefully, I didn't see or read many reports on it running now through GOG, but I hope that they got all that shit sorted out, and hopefully it runs like the best. Similar to what I was hearing with Bloodlines with the Masquerade, like, because I heard that the GOG version was like, it ran better on modern systems than it did through Steam for some reason. In God of War news, within the first 3 days, within the first weekend, God of War sold over 3.1 million copies of God of War for PlayStation 4. Well fucking deserved.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think and that game was fucking pushed everywhere. That was like that was Sony's big marketing thing that they threw all their chips into, and it is definitely paying off for them.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and it is definitely well deserved. It's an amazing game, and 3.1 million people, hopefully even more people buy that fucking game, because it is just so good.
Yeah. I finished it, I think, last weekend. And I'm kind of doing all the side stuff still, because the side quests in that game are really interesting and want me to fucking play it more. But after today, I've kind of made the decision that, like, man, I should fucking play it again, because there's just so many good moments to that game that I was thinking about today, and I was like, fuck, I should just play it again. I should just play it again. Start a new fucking game. But once I'm done with, there's one mission in particular that I won't spoil, but like, I've been grinding so I can get better, level up all my armor and weapons and everything, so that way I could be ready for this fight. But like, once it's done, then I'm just gonna be like, all right, cool, and then just like fucking start over again.
Yeah, there are, like, I mean, I'm not even that far in, but there's like already like 3 or 4 moments that I was like, God, that was so good. Just like, oh my God. So,
and then of course it doesn't help with like listening to the soundtrack either that I have, because I bought it through Google, and I've just been like, whenever I listen to all the tracks, I'm just like, fuck, I remember this part or this part and this part.
Yeah, that soundtrack is so fucking good.
Yeah, it is. That soundtrack had me sold like right on the first cutscene. It was just like, when that music was just rolling, I was like, they sold me already. They sold me already. It's so fucking good. And in indie gaming news, I've been kind of a fan of this series. I don't know if you have, Steve.
I love it. I love this series.
Daron is actually the one who got me into it, so it's kind of funny that we're talking about it now while he's not here.
I'm sure he wants to talk about it so fucking bad.
But
he's fired, so fuck him.
Just in time, got it.
Yes.
But yes, the third installment of the Bit.Trip Runner series released a trailer coming out. Looks fantastic, even better than Runner 2. Like, and
Yeah.
I loved the style of Runner 2. A lot of people
Hmm.
were put off that it was 3D, but because it's no longer really a bit trip, because like that was
Yeah.
the whole thing of the Bit.Trip, was like it was an 8-bit style. But it seems like after Runner 1, they felt like, I guess the team must have felt like, hey man, let's just really fucking go crazy with this shit. So then with Runner 2, it was all 3D models, but it was still at its core, you're running from, it's an auto running rhythm game. And Runner 3 looks really fucking good,
Oh yeah.
just visually. And like
Hmm.
it seems like it seems it's very much the oh shit, I'm trying to think of the game where they're really utilizing the environments in the background to like
Hmm.
do things and interact with you, and kind of interact with the foreground. So it seems like they took a couple notes. I want to say Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze was like a game where it did that,
Yeah.
or maybe
I
Rayman. I don't know.
Rayman. Yeah, Rayman definitely did that where you would shoot behind
Hmm.
and like start running behind there and stuff. Because I mean, Rayman had that like couple runner levels as well, where you're just like the music driven stuff, which was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. So it seems like they took a couple of notes from that, and
Hmm.
they're just going like, all right, let's go fucking nuts.
Yeah, it looks fucking nutty. It looks really good.
Yeah. Sweet. Well, that's it for new
Hey,
announcements.
yeah.
So let's move on to the emails and questions segment. You can email us at utterlygeek@gmail.com. That's UTTERLYG33K at gmail.com. You can ask any questions there, and then we'll answer them here. We do not have any new questions. However, if you are watching us live on twitch.tv/cptwally, that is my channel, you can join us live on Mondays, usually around 8 p.m. Eastern. We go live. If it's pertinent to our discussion, we'll ask it then and join in the conversation. Otherwise, we answer it here. We have no new comments or questions. You can go onto our Twitter as well. That is UTTERLYGEEK to go on there to ask questions, or also follow us on there as well to know when we are going live, because I normally announce it, or any news updates as to what's going on with our podcast. There's nothing on there. However, we do have. I'll get to your Instagram. Don't you worry, Steve. I'll get to your Instagram. We do, however, weirdly enough, on our YouTube channel, which is Utterly Geek with UTTERLY G33k, we do have a comment, actually, on our April 24th episode of the podcast. It is from Johnny Wellman, who said, if you have some kind of gaming title in your podcast name, something with Xbox or PlayStation in it, or with just the word gaming podcast, you would get more visitors when you read the name of your podcast. People go right over, because that's what they're looking for, gaming podcast, because it doesn't say what it is. You might want to consider changing the name of your podcast so people know it's a gaming podcast. Thank you, Johnny, for that feedback. Very helpful, and that is why now we are calling this the Utterly Geek Podcast Gaming News, or just maybe Utterly Geek Gaming News. I don't know. It's still we got
Working title.
Yeah, it's a working title, but that feedback is much appreciated. So that way we are a little bit more found and a little bit broaden our horizons. So that way people know exactly what they're looking for when they come and join us.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for that. And also, if you follow us on Instagram, which is still UTTERLYG33K, which Steve is managing and answering questions from there, you can ask on there or like us, follow us, whatever. Steve will let you know what is going on between the three of us. Anything from there, from that front?
No, nothing, sadly.
Okay. Well, fantastic. So that just moves on to the weekly releases. Fuck PC, as always. So
Yes.
we are going to go into starting with PlayStation 4. We got a number of titles coming out tomorrow, May 8th. The first up is one that we've all played. I don't know if you played it, Steve. Tacoma is coming
Oh,
out.
I haven't played at Tacoma yet. I was actually just talking with Daron about that the other day.
Okay. All right, yes.
Even though I fucking hate him. Fuck you, Darren. No, but yeah, we were talking about that the other day, and I was like, "Oh shit, I should play that." It was a
Yeah.
game that I just never played, and I forgot about it, and then it's like, "Damn, that's a game I need to play."
Well, it's coming out for PS4 tomorrow, so if you want to play it for PS4, that is one place you can go to. What's also coming out is Conan Exiles. It is coming out of early access, I guess,
Okay.
and now being officially released. A VR game called Mega Dimension Neptunia is coming out. Darkest Dungeon Ancestral Edition, which looks like maybe like a complete edition of Darkest Dungeon coming out tomorrow as well. A game called Death Road to Canada.
Oh shit, yeah, that game looks interesting.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
Okay, just looking at it. Raging Justice, also coming out tomorrow. Trailblazers, coming out, which looks like a racing game. AO International Tennis. Oh boy, if you want to get your fucking tennis on,
Hell yeah.
coming out tomorrow.
Nice.
Hyper Sentinel, coming out. And then also, which has little marketing going on, has been the next DLC for Destiny 2 called Warmind is coming out tomorrow. I know fucking nothing about it, and I don't give a shit because
Nope.
Destiny
Not
2
at all.
is no longer on my radar.
Nope.
And considering we haven't played it in fucking months,
Oh, yeah,
I'm going
seriously.
to assume everyone else is the same way.
Yeah. Most likely.
Yeah. So I'm glad I finished it, at least, so I have a general idea.
Yeah.
We also have Through the Woods coming out. And then also Shantae Half Genie Hero.
Okay.
I think that's a Sega game, or it looks like it is.
Is that a sequel to the other Shantae, the pirate one?
I think so. Yes. I guess so. It's a
Okay.
2D game. It's still 2D, so yeah. Dead Ahead, Zombie Warfare. Okay.
All right.
Grim Legends 3, The Dark City, also coming out May 8th. Inksplosion, which I don't know if that's like they're trying to do Splatoon, but that? Yeah, it's an arcade, simple to learn, hard to master, endless levels.
Okay.
Okay, so I guess maybe they're trying to do Splatoon, but maybe a single player experience. I don't know. Not to say that Splatoon hasn't done single player games.
Yeah.
Lunch Truck Tycoon 2.
Oh shit.
The fact that they have a second one coming out is, I guess, weird. Notable enough. TYR, Chains of Valhalla, also coming out May 8th. There's a lot of titles coming out.
Damn, that's a lot. Holy shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of indie titles coming out. 2MD VR Football coming out, also May 8th. And Cool Painter is another VR title coming out. VR compatible and VR required. It looks like another one of those similar, like, you could just kind of do artwork, 3D artwork, if you have a PSVR. I wonder if that's the same game that they had. I think they had it for PC, didn't they? Or maybe it was a PSVR title where it was like you could paint
Like
stuff.
a spray paint?
Maybe not
one?
spray paint, but there was one that was like a paintbrush, and you could
Okay.
paint in space and then move around it or whatever.
Yeah, I'm sure they have something like that. Had something like that going. But
Yeah, it looks familiar, at least the concept anyway. But that's all for May 8th. all those titles. For May 9th is Subaria, Subaeria. Looks like another indie title. And that's it for May 9th for PS4. May 10th, we have 2 titles coming out for PS4. We have Laser League, which almost looks like a Tron game. And then there's also Reverie, Reverie, another indie title. I have no idea what it's about. Also on PlayStation Vita, apparently, as well. So that's it for PS4 news. Xbox One, still really short compared to... that's crazy. I'll just rattle them off real quick. May 8th as well, we see Conan Exiles coming to there, Death Road to Canada, AO International Tennis, Shantae, Destiny 2, Raging Justice, Trailblazers, Subraria. Oh, wait, sorry. Raging Justice was the last one for May 8th. May 9th is Trailblazers, Subraria, Ink Explosion, Rocket Wars, and Zombie Pinball also coming out for Xbox One. On May 10th is Laser League. May 11th that's when Hyper Sentinel is coming out. And May 11th also sees Grim Legends 3 to Dark City, which comes out earlier on PS4. Switch games, we have 3 titles on May 8th. We have Shantae, Death Road to Canada, and Raging Justice. On May 10th, we have Immortal Redneck, which I think I've heard of that. I think that was on PC actually, wasn't it?
It was kind of like on PC.
It was like a roguelike, roguelite FPS game, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was on PC. I'm pretty sure it was on PC.
Okay. I think that was actually a game that was covered by TotalBiscuit when it came out on PC. So we have that. May 10th also we see Super Charlotte, One Piece Pirate Warriors 3 Deluxe Edition, Garage, literally a game called Garage. Sure. Suicide Guy, also see on May 10th. 3/4 Home, The Fall, and ACA Neo Geo Super Sidekicks 2, another Neo Geo game being ported over to the Switch. That's it for May 10th. And then May 11th, we see Hyper Sentinel also coming out, same day that Xbox One is. And weirdly enough, one game for Nintendo 3DS on May 10th is Up Up Bot.
Okay. Up Bot.
Up Bot. Yep.
All right.
And I'm sure PC is probably like Destiny 2 and then blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But there you have it. That's it for all the weekly releases for this week. And that's it for this podcast.
Short.
Fucking yeah, man. We're just breezing on by.
Yep.
Tune in next week for next Monday. I promise I will have this episode up sooner than last week's. I forgot to hit the record button in the midst of trying to fucking host a goddamn show for the first time in months. So there it is. But I'll definitely have it ready up by this week. Probably tomorrow, hopefully. But in any case, thank you guys so much for tuning in. See you next Monday/Tuesday.
Yeah. See you guys later.